Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. So I guess our theme this week is homework. Okay. I'm not going to talk about religiosity, I'm sorry Nathan, but I will talk about something related to religion. In college, I wrote 2 papers on Harry Potter. The first was a religion paper. The second didn't go over very well because I don't think my professor liked Harry Potter, but whatever. I'm going to talk about the religion paper. I took a class called Myth, Ritual, and Symbol in which we learned about different theories of religion. So we learned about Marx and Weber and Freud and Durkheim and Eliade and Schleiermacher and Tillich and Geertz, and we learned all of their theories on religion. Then we wrote this paper where we either examined a religion from one of these theories, or we examined something that was not a religion from a theory, and something that is generally not considered a religion, but we examined it like it was a religion. So, for example, somebody looked at Star Wars as a religion, somebody looked at the internet as a religion. I looked at Harry Potter as a religion, of course. I examined it from Mircea Eliade's theory. To him, the center of religion was the axis mundi. Actually, that's not, I don't think that's exclusive to him, but yeah. And I said that the axis mundi was Joe Rowling. The axis mundi means center of the world. It's the center of the religion. So it's like the axis around which the world turns. That's what it means, sort of, I think. I wrote this in 2006, so just, if I mess things up, I apologize if you happen to know about Eliade's theory. She was founded as the center of the religion when there was a hierophany. Hierophany is an infusion of the sacred, God, into the profane, and the profane is anything that's not sacred. So when she was sitting on the train in like 1990 or whenever that was, and suddenly thought of the idea of Harry Potter and thought of like the whole story, and I said that this was the hierophany. Yes. So that's basically claiming Harry Potter is divinely inspired. I'm sure that will go over well with some people. The rest of the religion, the way it was explained to me is that if you think about it in terms of concentric circles, like some things are more sacred than others. So like the next most sacred thing are the books. And then here, I drew a picture to help. Okay, so here's Joe. See, it says Joe, but it's backwards because I'm not flipping it around. And then the books. And then the movies are the next most sacred, and you can tell it's a movie because he has blue eyes. I talked about the books being the myth of the cult. And cult, by the way, does not necessarily mean group of crazy people that drinks poison Kool-Aid. It means a group of people that adhere to a certain religion. So it doesn't mean a bad thing, I promise. Unless, of course, you think that's bad. Okay, so the books are the myth of the cult, and then I examined the characters, compared them to Jungian archetypes. Like Harry is the self and the hero, and Voldemort is the shadow, and I'm not really going to go into that because that takes a lot of explaining. Then I looked at the fandom. The fandom is the cult, and there are certain rituals that take place at when there are conventions and midnight book release parties and movie openings, and people dress a certain way, and even if you're not dressed as a character, often people are still dressed a certain way, like certain t-shirts are worn, and just the way you dress is very similar to everybody else there, and that kind of marks you as separate from the outside world. A certain language is used, words like Diffindo and Gryffindor and Slytherin and Hufflepuff and Alohomora. Certain music is played and games are played that are specific to this, like Quidditch. These spaces in which the conferences and things are held are often decorated to resemble Hogwarts, which within the books is kind of like the Axis Mundi because it's the most sacred spot. It is the most magical spot. It's where people learn their magic, so it's very, very important. And often places are decorated to resemble Hogwarts so that it creates a sacred space here in the real world. Because I said that the magical world is sacred within the books, sacred time is whenever you're within the magical world, and sacred time is marked by, I think, it's difficult to tell the passage of time, and that's very true within the magical world because, you know, they use parchment and candles and things, so it's difficult to tell what year it is, and it's hard to say whether or not it's going to be like that for conventions and things because they haven't been going on that long. But I can imagine that years from now, they'll still be very similar to the way they are now. So I finished by saying that the cult-like following is probably what offends some people because it's witchcraft in children's literature is not a new thing. But the huge following these books have is pretty new. So that may just be what's offending the people. They may see this following, this as similar to a cult, and that might be what's so offensive. I don't necessarily believe this is a religion, by the way. This is just a paper that I wrote. But it's an interesting idea, I think. I really liked it. So tell me what you think. Bye.